Welcome back to Britology, where we take you deep inside the hidden corners of Britain's wealth and luxury. Today we're stepping off land and into the glittering waters that surround the United Kingdom, because few things capture the extravagance of the super rich quite like their yachts. But these aren't just any yachts, these are the secret floating palaces owned by some of the UK's richest families, rarely seen by the public, often hidden behind closed docks or registered under obscure company names. These vessels tell us more than just stories of wealth. They reveal the culture of power, exclusivity, and the quiet competition among Britain's elite. To most people, the UK is a land of rolling countryside, castles, and old traditions. But for the wealthiest families, the story doesn't end on land. Their influence extends into the seas, where their yachts act as mobile estates, symbols of influence that allow them to slip away from the public eye while maintaining the lifestyle of royalty. Each yacht is more than a ship. It's a statement of power. Let's start with a family name that's synonymous with vast fortune. The Barkley brothers, once owners of the Telegraph and with roots deep in offshore dealings. Their yacht, the Lady Beatrice, was as mysterious as the men themselves, stationed often in Monaco and the Channel Islands. This vessel wasn't built for parties or publicity. It was designed for privacy, the kind of floating fortress where business deals could be discussed in total secrecy. When you consider the Barkley legacy of quiet power, the yacht becomes an extension of that philosophy. No flashy gatherings, no showy photographs, just discreet luxury, hidden from the curious eyes of the public. Then there's the Dyson family, the engineering empire behind vacuum cleaners and other innovations. James Dyson isn't just a master of design on land. His ventures at sea have been equally impressive. His yacht, Nalan, is actually a historic vessel once used by King Edward VIII. Dyson restored it with meticulous precision, turning it into a floating museum of engineering brilliance combined with modern comforts. The choice of Nalan says a lot about Dyson's mindset. It's not about chasing trends. It's about timeless design, prestige, and connecting modern wealth with Britain's royal past. Moving into the world of banking, the Fleming family, best known for their ties to James Bond creator Ian Fleming and a long financial legacy, also sail with class. Their vessel, although not publicized widely, has long been docked near exclusive Mediterranean marinas. Unlike the outrageous floating cities owned by Middle Eastern billionaires, the Fleming yacht embodies a more understated luxury, reminding us that old money prefers elegance over extravagance. On board, it's less about nightclubs and helipads, and more about rare woods, fine wines, and a crew that knows discretion is everything. The Grosvenor family, led by the Duke of Westminster, is another giant in Britain's elite circles, with land stretching across central London and beyond. While their real estate empire is legendary, their yachting adventures are kept largely under wraps. Their yacht may not often appear in glossy magazines, but when it does, it represents the perfect blend of tradition and innovation. The Grosvenors understand that wealth isn't just displayed, it's preserved. Their choice of yacht reflects that philosophy, sleek enough to compete with the best, but never so outrageous that it draws unnecessary attention. For them, the yacht isn't a party boat, it's a diplomatic tool, a place where billionaires and dignitaries can be entertained away from prying eyes. Of course, we can't ignore the Green family, once at the helm of a retail empire. Their yacht, Lionheart, is far from modest. Towering over most marinas, it's a floating palace with multiple decks, helicopter landing pads, and interiors dripping with gold accents. Unlike the quiet discretion of the Barclays or Grosvenors, the Greens used Lionheart as a stage, a clear statement that their fortune was immense and untouchable. But wealth on that scale can attract as much criticism as admiration. Lionheart became a symbol of both the family's success and the controversies that followed them. It's proof that in the world of yachts, every ship tells two stories, the one of wealth and the one of reputation. And then there's Sir Philip Green, whose flamboyant lifestyle turned yachts into a signature accessory. His parties aboard were legendary, often hosting celebrities and global power players. Lionheart wasn't just a yacht, it was an empire on water. Yet it also showed how fragile that empire could be when fortunes shifted and headlines turned against him. A yacht is freedom, but it can also become a cage of public scrutiny. What's fascinating is how these yachts rarely sail the waters of Britain itself. Instead, they linger in Monaco, the south of France, or the Caribbean. For Britain's richest families, the seas around their own island are too visible, too ordinary. Abroad, they can enjoy luxury without the constant reminder of public opinion back home. The yachts become not just vehicles of leisure, but floating escape routes, ways to leave behind the criticism and pressures of British life. But beyond the families we can name, there are the truly hidden yachts, those registered under shell. Companies in the Cayman Islands, those moored in secret coves, are constantly on the move. These are the ghost ships of Britain's elite, vessels whose ownership is whispered about but never confirmed. Journalists may catch glimpses of them in Sardinia or Ibiza, but the official records remain murky. This secrecy is deliberate because for the ultra-rich, anonymity is the last true luxury. Walking the decks of these yachts, you wouldn't just find swimming pools and cinemas. You'd see negotiation tables where billion-pound deals are struck, private spas that rival the finest resorts, and artwork collected from across the globe. Each detail is curated to remind both guests and owners that they belong to a world beyond the ordinary. And yet, despite their grandeur, these yachts also represent something deeply British: restraint. Unlike the over-the-top floating fortresses of Silicon Valley moguls or Middle Eastern royalty, British billionaire yachts tend to favor heritage, tradition, and understated sophistication. Even the most lavish examples still carry an echo of old world class. So next time you're walking along a marina in Monaco, Antibes, or Palma, look closer. That sleek, polished yacht, with a British flag at its stern, might just belong to one of the UK's richest families. You won't find a nameplate shouting its ownership, and the crew won't tell you a thing. But behind those tinted windows lie stories of power, privacy, and unimaginable wealth. These yachts aren't just boats, they're floating extensions of Britain's richest families, crafted to shield them from the spotlight while quietly reinforcing their dominance. They embody the balance between secrecy and showmanship, between tradition and modernity. They are Britain's most private palaces, drifting silently across the seas, where only the privileged few are ever invited aboard. And that's the world of the secret yachts of the UK's richest families, where luxury isn't just lived, it's carefully hidden in plain sight.